Today, on Be Something Wonderful, there is no spoon. Only you are reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning, and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. One of you reached out and said that you attended or watched our live event yesterday. This is a live stream that we do once a month on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. And that one of you asked a question, well, what does that look like in 3D reality? What do I do in 3D reality? What does it look like that I am the creator, that I am source, that I am reality? And this particular subscriber and creator said they watched a video that we did based on the movie The Matrix. In that particular scene where that enlightened boy says there is no spoon, right? Don't try to bend the spoon. Just realize the truth that there is no spoon. Very powerful. And this particular subscriber says, I've never heard you like I heard you yesterday, right? In this idea that you are reality. We're going to talk about this today and more. In the Matrix, right? Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Why is it impossible? Because the truth is, there is no spoon. There is no reality out there to bend, to change, to influence, to resist, to embrace, to love or to hate or to get rid of. Wow. The truth is that it's not the spoon that bends, it's only yourself. From that scene in The Matrix, powerful. The spoon referring to physical reality, your entire physical experience. You need only realize the truth. There is no out there. John Wheeler said that. But like Neo, right, Neo looking at this, what does it look like? How do I do it? What does it look like in 3D reality? What do I do? But he tells Neo, the enlightened boy tells Neo, don't try to bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, it's you that bends. You are reality. Very powerful. So, and remember, it's not simply that you are the observer, as quantum physics talks about, the idea of the observer effect, changing or influencing reality. Changing, influence, or bending reality by the mere act of observing, or what they call measuring, quantum measurement. It is that you are also the observed, and you are the observing itself. You are the perceiver, the perceived, and the perceiving. That's why it's not reality, the physical people, events, and circumstances and experiences that bend. It is you that bends. All the struggle comes from trying to change, influence, fix, heal, get rid of, or get more of something that appears separate from and outside of you, or trying to manifest or create something out there. That's where the struggle comes from. That's why the enlightened boy said, don't try to bend the spoon. That's impossible. Powerful. There is no spoon. Doesn't only mean that there's no reality out there, but it means that. But it means that there is no in there either. There's no out there, and there's no in there. In other words, reality is not outside of you, or inside or within you. It is you. You are all that is. A Course in Miracles says it perfectly. They say this: it's hard to understand what the kingdom of heaven is within you really means. As the ancients said, The kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God is within you. Hard to understand what that really means. And A Course in Miracles goes on to say this is because it is not understandable to the ego. What is the ego? It's simply the physically focused personality that feels separate and limited by the very conditions that they're projecting and reflecting as reality. The kingdom of heaven is ultimate reality. It's the ultimate source, the creator, it's existence itself, it's God or all that is. So asking what does it look like? What's the practicality? What's the logical way to look at this? Doesn't get you anywhere. They will never understand it because it's always looking for something separate in there or out there. Wow. When we say that you are source, you are reality, you are God or all that is, I am awareness. The physically focused you ask, what does that look like out there? In other words, the implication out there in reality. What do I do? But A Course in Miracles tells us it's hard to understand from that physically focused point of view. When we say, make it about you, which I've said many times, it's hard to understand what that means, make it about you, that you are reality, that it looks like you. In other words, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's hard to understand what that really means. Why is that so hard to understand? Because the physically focused you, as A Course in Miracles says, interprets it as if something outside, hear this, is inside. Wow. Always wanted to create this idea of separation and duality and limitation. As if something outside is inside. And this does not mean anything, A Course in Miracles says. It doesn't mean anything. Like from that show, The Chosen, where Jesus is talking to the paralyzed man about the pool. It does nothing. It means nothing. The word within is unnecessary, says A Course in Miracles. The kingdom of heaven is you. Right here. You are reality. In other words, there is no inside or outside. There is no spoon, period. Within or without. The spoon's not within you, it's not outside of you. It is only and always just you as reality. You are the spoon, you're all of it. Wow. So I want to be clear. We're not saying that the physically focused you, your physical finite mind, is all that exists and nothing and no one else is real. That's solipsism. We're not saying that. That my physically focused mind, my physical focus is all that exists. Nothing else is real. We are saying you are existence. You are all that is. You are the one divine mind of God or I am itself. That's what we're saying. It's bigger than that. We're saying there's no separation whatsoever. Solipsism is about separation and limitation. We're saying you are all that is, experiencing yourself from a unique perspective, a unique viewpoint, a unique focus that is referred to as the physical or lower mind. You and everyone else is all that is existence, is God experiencing and knowing itself. In other words, being aware and conscious of itself, the one, from infinite, finite, or limited perspectives and viewpoints. Solipsism says, only my puny, limited, finite, focused perspective exists, and no other possibilities exist. That's what solipsism really means. We're not saying that. Right? Wow. You as existence, as that one divine mind, you're the center of it, the physically focused you as all that is. It doesn't mean that others don't exist. There are infinite points of consciousness. All the others, everyone else, this idea of everybody is you pushed out, means these other points of consciousness are all thinking, living, and having their being in that one divine mind. And you, as all that is, creates your unique perspective, your unique versions, your unique world of those others. They're real. If remember what I've said about the physical mirror. You're standing in a physical mirror at home. If you are real, the reflection is real. It's just not what it seems. Those versions of others are according to your assumptions and beliefs and who and what you say you are, what you believe is the truth or true of who you are. You can think of it as your subjective identity, what you believe is the truth, or what's true of you and your reality. And then you create versions of those other points of consciousness. It doesn't mean that they don't exist. It doesn't mean that you are them and they are you. It means there's only one experiencing itself from infinite perspectives or viewpoints. Others, everyone else, everyone as you point out, all other physically focused points of view or points of consciousness, these finite physical minds, as all that is, exist. The versions of others in your world and in your reality are reflected by your unique focus, assumptions, beliefs, which you assume and believe to be true or the truth of you and your reality. And same with them. It's just all that is. One infinite, intelligent, and conscious mind I am. One thought and one feeling of unconditional love. I exist as all that is. One moment, seeing that moment from infinite perspectives or viewpoints or vantage points, the eternal now. Knowing itself through infinite finite experiences, perspectives, and viewpoints, or what we call thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, or what we refer to as physical minds. But there's only one mind. And all of those physical minds or sensations, feelings, are the experiences of that one mind, that one thought, that one feeling as source energy, that one love, that seeing it from infinite perspectives. They seem or appear to be limits or conditions on the love, fulfillment, and reality that you are. But there are absolutely no conditions and no limitations. They're just different expressions of the one thought, of the one feeling of love of source energy, of the one sensation, of the one perception, the one image of God, or you as all that is. So that's what's meant by the kingdom of heaven is you. And what we mean when we say it's about you, you are reality. That's what we mean. This is what the ancients meant by here I am when Moses answered God, Moses, Moses, like, where are you, Moses? Here I am. Here I am as the center of all that is. So even the idea that you're sending or transmitting thoughts, there's only one mind, there's only one thought. Thoughts are different infinite perspectives of that one thought. Everyone is thinking in and as that one divine mind. So it's not you create the experience of sending energy or sending thoughts, but that's a concession. That's an idea to help understand that there's only one mind, one thought, one I am. And so as you have thoughts, you're only ever thinking about self or yourself as all that is. Then you create versions of other people, events, and circumstances that are reflected from that thought. And it seems like they're thinking about you or about you and your reality, your assumptions, but it's just you. We're going to show this today. So right here, you, infinite versions of you and your experience as reality. Infinite frames of experiences or images. You as reality, you as I am. You as the center. And in every moment, you have a unique perspective, a viewpoint, a vantage point that creates the idea of a different version of the people, events, and circumstances. These others, or everyone else, are unique points of consciousness. They exist. But in your reality, what you create is your version according to the version that you are and what you assume about your reality. You create the version of those people, events, and circumstances that align with your focus, your perspective. And everyone else does the same. And it's just all that is knowing itself. That's what all of that means. And you create this horizontal linear experience. You give it time and space. So you know yourself as that simultaneous all that is being that you are. One reality superimposed over another. One version of you superimposed over another with a certain perspective. All in the now. You create who you were and who you will be. And you shape the versions of other people, events, and circumstances. It's still consciousness. Consciousness is consciousness. Awareness is awareness. Everything exists. You just create your unique version of that, of them, of others, of those events. Wow. Each and every one of you is all that is, thinking and feeling, assuming and imagining within and as the one mind. So you are only ever thinking about and feeling yourself. It's only ever about your energy because there's only one energy. And what we mean by your energy and your thoughts is simply your perspective or viewpoint, a vantage point as all that is. It's the one thought, seeing it from a certain perspective that we call thoughts. One feeling as source, as all that is. That peace that passes all understanding. Feeling it from different perspectives or viewpoints or vantage points. Wow. So it's not, you can create the experience. There is a concession to be made, right? That the idea that thoughts travel, but they don't, nothing goes anywhere. Everything's here and now. All that is all that is. Existence is. The idea that things travel or move or are transmitted means there's separation. Creates this idea of separation, limitation, of another source, of another power. There's only one. You can create that idea that oh, they have bad energy, or they're directing energy, or they're affecting me with their energy. There's only you as that energy. You create your unique experience. You're creating a unique focus or viewpoint of the one thought and energy that we call thoughts and feelings in every moment. One moment that we call time, and past, present, and future. Thereby creating a unique reflection of others, of people, events, and circumstances according to you as the center of all that is. I am, or existence is, exists. All movement and change in time and space is the one, just knowing and experiencing itself as reality. It doesn't go anywhere. Here I am. There is no spoon. Only you are reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, be sure to check out the video we released yesterday on the Tom Kearin channel, also a big video there. And we have a live event that we had yesterday that's now available on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. And we'll be announcing our next live event for September soon. With great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.